I got the juice, don't need no proof. 100 like the rum I drink that got me over you. And all your nonsense we all subject to. I found my lane and mind my business like I'm supposed to do. Let's have a toast for all the obstacles that got us here. I put my glass up in the air to stimulate the cheers. Not because we made it, but because we making it. I savor the moment, the bouquet forever, ever then. Yeah. In my realm, I watch the times go by. I got the world in my hands, but I can't tame the sky. Dare I try, I might lose my mind. But it'll be all good after I'm done sipping this wine. Gather around people with
Vibration.
We're about to start, you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Are you sure?
She's not ready.
I just don't know, like, well, you can edit out anything that's
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll edit it out.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. When we first started this trip, I thought I was gonna end up like, have y'all seen Get Out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be Get Out, and I was
Yeah.
gonna be
Yeah.
like terrorized by a bunch of white people.
Well, the trip's not over yet.
So,
Just kidding.
so I'll be recording.
You're the detective, so I know who to go to.
Jokes on us. He's been recording them.
Yes.
He's been
The
recording the
whole
whole time.
I need
Y'all didn't
evidence.
even realize it.
I need evidence. Yeah.
That's the funny part. But welcome to Clueless Vino, man, where a guy like me drinks wine and I kick it with some cool guests. We are in Blue Ridge, Georgia,
Yes.
and I am with my family on family vacation. I had today my sister and brother-in-law, Stephanie and Watson. Man, how y'all doing?
We're good.
We're well.
We're doing well.
We're doing A+.
It's been great. Like, yeah, I think we've had a great vacation, right?
Yeah.
It's been a fun trip.
Yeah.
We've survived the driveway.
That's
So-
that's been the most
Topic.
treacherous thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's at least a 30-degree grade, you think?
I
I mean, I don't know.
It might even be a little bit, just slightly.
I mean, that's pretty steep. If
Yeah, no, that's different. That we don't have that in Virginia. And I know y'all don't have that in Florida.
We definitely don't have that in Florida.
they don't.
So yeah, I think my ultimate is screwed. After
Yeah.
the trip.
Yeah. Yeah.
But goodness that I'm giving it to Anna and I'm getting a new car.
So there you
So,
go.
yeah.
So there's that.
So who cares?
Yeah. So
Who cares?
yeah, like she can pay for it. She has a new job.
She
Just
nailed
run
it.
it
Yeah,
back.
exactly.
But this is the part where I let the guests, man, just give a little information about themselves and let people know who they are, man. So the floor is y'all's.
Ladies first?
Yeah. Always ladies first. Come on.
Okay. Well, I'm Anna's sister, Stephanie. I'm just younger than Anna. There's 6 of us in our family. I'm number 5, Anna's number 4, and I'm an art teacher. And in case you didn't know, I illustrated the cover of Brandon's last book.
Yes.
So yes, that was me. Yes, I'm an art teacher in Florida. We've got a 2-year-old asleep upstairs.
Oh, we're married? You didn't want to mention that.
Oh, this is my husband.
That-
He said my brother and sister.
That doesn't necessarily mean
doesn't-
that it would.
That's true.
Yeah.
This is my husband.
I mean, the closest of y'all's bodies probably alluded to
Yeah,
that.
the
However,
arm over my.
now see, if he had did that and not had said like, "Oh, we're married,"
Then I
you
would have just spoken to him.
That's
for
what I'm saying.
A
Right?
while.
It's not fair.
Okay, sorry. This is my husband, Andrew. And yeah, our kid's asleep upstairs.
He is. Yes.
So now you. What about you, Andrew?
I
Husband,
am
Andrew.
married to this wonderful woman, so I'm going to start with that.
Nice.
And
See,
be a responsible spouse.
responsible.
A responsible spouse. We live in Florida, if that wasn't covered already. Well, I was a detective, but now I'm back on the road doing police shenanigans. And yeah, got a 2-year-old asleep upstairs. That's nice.
Yeah.
And looking forward to enjoying this one.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
We're gonna have a good time. We've had a good time on this vacation. Speaking of this vacation, I wanna kind of figure out how I got into this mess because I remember we went down to Florida for Alex's wedding.
Yes.
Right.
And
Yeah.
y'all
Right.
you and Anna's brother. And then when I left, we were on the road going back. He's like, "Oh yeah, we're going to plan a family vacation." I was like, "Oh, no word from me. No one told me anything. So now I have to scrap together to try to get vacation planned."
Right.
So how
You
did
and him were like in the same boat because
Yeah.
it was kind of the same.
So Stephanie, since you were clear,
Anna threw it out there. She said, you know, it'd be great if we started like every summer or something, you know, doing a family vacation because it's really far for you guys to drive to 14 hours all the way to Florida and for us to drive all the way to Virginia, so try to meet kind of sort of in the middle.
Yeah.
And so this is the first.
Right.
trip.
It just would have been nice to, all be involved in the conversation. Just, like we probably.
That's okay.
Granted, we probably wouldn't have said anything.
No,
We just would have been like, okay, but
Okay.
we would have been in the loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I wanted personally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell us, Stephanie, and did you choose this place?
I did choose this place, yeah. Well, I can't remember who threw out there. They were like, oh, maybe like South Carolina or Georgia, we can find like a cabin. And I couldn't find anything in South Carolina. And so then Blue Ridge popped up, and Alex and Michelle had their honeymoon here. So I was like, okay. And it seemed an okay distance, minus traffic.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's not as bad.
It's not 14 hours.
The 8 hours really kind of breezed by.
Yeah.
So you had 8 hours.
Yeah.
We were supposed to have like 9.5, 10 hours, but with traffic, I think it was like 12 hours.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Atlanta's atrocious.
Atlanta is the worst
You can't,
with traffic.
You
Yeah.
can't win.
Like, it would have been bad even without the accident that happened.
Yeah.
I feel like.
It's
Yeah.
true. So we hit there was an accident just south of the Georgia line, so we had to like do an illegal U-turn and hit a
Yeah, I don't think we should use the
detour.
word illegal, but that's fine.
not recommended U-turn.
There we go.
and
That makes it a
then-
little bit better. It sounds better.
Yeah, and then we hit Atlanta though at like 4:30 or something. So it was like approaching that like rush hour, and it was just like dead. Like
Yeah.
we were creeping along for a while.
Yeah, I have a homie that's in
So-
Atlanta, and he talks about like the traffic can be kind of rough. Just
Oh, it's atrocious.
specifically during certain times of the day.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no winning.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's either early in the morning or late night. And even late night isn't great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because Atlanta's a popping, very hopping,
There's a lot going on.
very busy town.
A lot going on.
Yeah, so like it's always something. But yeah, we made it, and
We made
had
it,
a great time.
and we made it up the driveway.
Yeah, the driveway, like that's
Yeah.
another thing. Like it specifically
The
says-
driveway's like this.
It specifically says, oh yeah, no, don't worry, like it's
Commit.
fine, but like it might be a bit steep getting in the driveway, and like
You
you
have to
think like
commit,
okay, like slight hill, nothing crazy. It's a roller coaster. Like the
Exactly.
beginning.
It's
Our
really bad.
SUV had no like traction for it was like and then
You need 4-wheel drive for that.
To be like safely doing.
Relatively safe,
You know what I'm saying? Like imagine we had did this during the winter.
no, it
and
wouldn't have
there's
happened.
Snow,
No.
or there's ice.
It was bad enough last night when we came back and it had rained a
With
little
the rain,
bit.
yeah.
That
exactly.
was bad
So,
enough. So snow, no way. We will never do this family trip in the winter.
We have managed to survive, and no one's gotten hurt seriously. We got stumped a couple times so far.
That's true. There's been a few bee stings,
there's
but
been bee stings.
there's a bunch of flights of stairs and a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old. And
Well,
knock on wood, neither of them have.
Yeah.
We'll get into the trail that we did.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get into the hike. But I want to at least open a bottle of wine to
Yes,
start
well,
off. So
yeah, let's
what we
please,
have,
please.
I wanted to bring a local wine in Virginia.
Okay.
It's from Wagner Vineyards.
Okay.
It's a Riesling. I like Rieslings. That's probably my favorite type of wine. This is a 2021, so it's probably full of shit because 2020 was awful. And
Yes.
but it's more of a dry, which is kind of weird for Rieslings. I feel like, right?
Interesting.
That is it. Yeah.
It's a little bit weird for Rieslings. It's more the Rieslings that I like have been more like medium sweet.
Yeah. When I
So-
think Riesling, I think sweet.
Yeah.
When I think dry, I think of like a Chardonnay. So this will be
Yeah.
interesting.
It'll be
Okay.
interesting to try. So I mean, let's give it a try, man.
Let's give it a
Yeah.
Here, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna pass them to you.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
And we'll divvy out after that.
I like white wine, so you can make mine.
A heavy hitter.
Heavy hitter.
One another, we'll do that.
Okay.
A dry reeds.
Yeah.
Don't go start drinking it, Andrew. There's a way to
I
go about it.
Oh, I recall.
Okay.
You guys are actually the first. A lot of firsts. You're the first couple that's done one.
Oh,
the
okay.
first. you're the first time I've ever had 2 guests at once. So
Okay.
these are definitely first.
I feel honored.
So it's definitely interesting. It'll be a different dynamic for people to see.
Yes. Yes.
All right, so let's smell it. Obviously, it smells dry.
I was literally just about to say.
Yeah,
It's like champagne without the bubbles.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I'm getting early.
Yep. Definitely there.
I'm so tempted to do this. This is a white. You know, in The Office.
Oh yeah.
When Mike goes, he goes, I know a lot about wines. This is a
This is a
white.
Yeah,
Anyway.
for sure.
So
You guys ready?
I'm ready. Yeah, let's cheers up.
Cheers.
Blue Ridge. So we did a wine tasting once, and they said the first taste, you like sip it and forget it. So it like sets your palate.
This is at the San Sebastian Winery
In St.
in
Augustine.
St. Augustine, which you would like.
I mean, so I do want to get into more wine tastings as I continue this journey. Like, so midway through, probably around like episode 15, I was like, I like wine, and I still want to drink wine, but like, I'm more of like people are gravitating more to like the conversations I have with people.
Sure.
More so than the actual wine itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm still had the interest. So I want to do more wine-centric things, but it's more about like doing like more content.
Yeah.
I did have like a local vineyard at Richmond hit me up finally after like a couple months, and it would be like either like we can do a wine tasting on the spot, or they can do an episode. So I'll probably get back to them in a couple of days to figure out what I
Yeah,
can
that's
do.
awesome. I know we did that wine tasting when you guys were down for Alex's wedding, but unfortunately we couldn't.
Yeah, like if
Because out in public, we couldn't
I feel like I
set
would
up
have had to
film
ask
it.
like a lot of questions
Yeah.
like beforehand, and you know
Really set up an area, and they were pretty busy.
Yeah,
so
they were really
they were
tight.
very busy.
Even
So
though it was a pandemic. But whatever. But I like this. This is, like I say, it's different from a normal Riesling.
This is actually very good.
I actually
I'm
really
not
like
mad at
this.
it.
So
I really
I
like
like
this.
how they tone down the sweetness
Yeah,
and bring it to
but
the
it's
dry
still
one.
like a slight
There is that
crisp.
Yeah,
It
this
is very
isn't,
crisp.
You know where that dryness leaves you hard.
Yeah, what are the notes? Pear?
Peach.
Grown grapes in the
Definitely
deep
not
glacial
peach.
soils of the eastern slopes of Seneca.
He makes
Seneca
some
Lake.
peach. Watch him some peach.
Our dedication to
No, it is peach.
sustainable farming provides us with an intimate connection to the land. Since 1978, we've carried this same passion into our wines, which we welcome you to experience.
This is in Virginia, you said?
Yes.
Wagner Vineyard.
Probably it's German. It's really Wagner.
It could be.
So
Wagner.
It probably is actually. This elegant and versatile food wine
Riesling.
makes peach and lime. Wow.
Oh, wow!
What?
Wow.
No.
He did
I
it.
need to
I'm
see
sorry.
that.
There it is. Read
I'm
yourself.
sorry.
Read yourself.
What?
Peach and lime aroma.
Yeah, he nailed it.
Wow.
He nailed it.
Wow.
I mean, listen.
I was wrong.
Yeah, I mean, he's a detective. He was a detective. Like,
I don't
like
taste peach at all.
Nothing gets past his nose. Only person who's probably a better detective is Scruffy Gruff from Chicago.
Oh.
60652.
Love some scruff.
Right? He's kind of a creeper though, with that
little
trench.
bit.
And he
The
pops
trench
out
coat?
He pops out
Yeah.
the shadows. Like, dude,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Like, you might be a predator. Like,
A flasher. Definitely a flasher.
right? That's what I'm saying. He's got to be a flasher. Like, come on, bro. Like you
No
on
one wears
rocket all
trench
the time.
coats
Like, what's
anymore.
wrong with you? Scruff me, gruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652. Don't make it catchy. Like, what's wrong with you, bro? Crisp, clean finish makes this a superb enhancer for poultry, seafood, and other like
Yes.
We probably should have had it
Yeah.
with chicken earlier.
We
probably-
should have
yeah,
had
yeah.
some earlier with the
Yeah.
chicken, but
But then we would only have reds. This episode.
And I'm not the biggest rig. Y'all, like, what is y'all's preferred
So
wine?
when we started dating, we kind of got into wine together, and we started off with Chardonnay, Little Penguin, $5.
Well, yeah, it was 2 for 10. So they
2 for 10 at
they
Publix.
mandated you buy 2. Like you couldn't get the deal unless
Yeah,
you bought 2.
yeah. But
So I bought 4.
so when I first started drinking wine, I did a lot of whites, and it took me a while to get into reds.
Yeah.
So I was really into reds for a while, and now I don't know if it's because it's the summer, but I've been buying more white lately.
So they say, like, wine can be very seasonal.
Yeah,
So, like, I know a lot of people say, oh, I don't drink wine, white wines till, like, the summer,
yeah.
fall,
Yeah.
and, like,
Red
switch
makes me
them.
think of like cozy,
Yeah.
sitting by a fireplace.
Have y'all ever had mead?
I I have not had mead.
Mead's actually pretty good. It's like a honey-based wine.
So I tell you what,
Okay.
we were at the Orchards yesterday, in which we did a cider flight, and I saw the mead.
Which I was not a part of.
You were not a part of. You were doing maternal duties.
Mother. It's
Yes,
okay. I had some non-hard cider.
But the mead was available, and I really don't know why I didn't capitalize.
Yeah, you guys should have tried a little bit.
I would definitely suggest it's because there are some meats where you can warm up. You can like pop in the microwave or like you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Warm up, so like it's a really cozy winter drink.
Yeah.
So we've done mulled wine.
Oh,
So I think I've had like maybe one. So like I know a lot of people
Yes.
drink mulled wine.
Yeah.
Right.
Now that is a really good like Christmas time
Yeah.
drink. So it's really easy. We got this little sachet, whatever, of like spices, and you pour the wine into a crock pot. I can't remember if we had to add water or not. Throw in the spices and you let it sit for a while, and then it's just like so cozy. Definitely makes you sleepy.
wait more.
Absolutely, I do.
So let's get into today's events. So you know,
Let's.
my biggest fear when we originally made this vacation plan.
Is that you're going to be murdered?
Okay. My second biggest fear
Was the driveway.
since we made this vacation plan was that y'all were coming to do some very, how can I put this, pale skin activities.
Okay.
And hiking was definitely in the
Hiking.
top
Yep,
tier
yeah.
of those activities. So it's like I don't fight nature. I
You're
like
not
animals.
Okay.
But the outside, the braving the elements bullshit, that's not me.
Right.
I remember when I was young, like, we should go camping. And it's not crazy camping. We're just getting a big tent. Go outside. My grandma has my grandparents had like a huge, like, plot of land. So,
Yeah.
in the farmland.
Okay.
Put the tent out. Let's just break down and sleep outside. Man, listen. I got in that tent, tried to lay down or whatever. First 30 minutes, I said, zip. Walked to grandma's house, opened the door, started watching cartoons. I ain't got time for this bullshit.
Like we live in houses.
Like,
for a
fam,
reason.
Yeah, we've progressed.
Like, why would I
We've
do this?
progressed, guys.
Right.
Why would
Why
I?
are we regressing?
Why would I subject myself to
Right.
sleeping
Yeah.
on the ground when I have this nice bed?
Yeah.
Willingly.
Absolutely not. So
Okay.
I was like, okay, but once everybody's like, oh, we're all going, like, I can't just be the one.
Well,
that
and
not
there's
go.
a 2-year-old in the group, so we didn't think it was going to be anything that. It was
That's
going to
the
be
thing.
kid friendly.
To be fair, the first one wasn't that bad.
The first trip
It's
was
a
great.
nice, and 2.3 miles is a lot.
Yeah.
However, we all kept a very
It was
good
just like
pace.
even, yeah.
Some hit, some like upward stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy at all.
So I did enjoy it, and Luke was doing a great job of it, man. He set a great pace.
He set a great pace.
He was
yeah.
really like, you know how like Mario Kart, like you just do that,
Cruising.
time, wait till I get the right item, smashing people, and now taking first place. He
Right.
was pushing first place for like
was.
a long time.
He
Yeah.
was.
Eventually he hit the wall. You know how kids are, man. Kids
Yeah.
eventually, you know.
Eventually, yeah.
whatever. But he completed the whole thing.
He did. He did.
Unfortunately, and fortunately, I met up with a dude that I know from basketball. He
Yes.
was
Yes.
so. Hunter was when I was leaving Randolph, Michigan. Hunter was coming in, so I did his.
Okay.
He did his recruit visit with me.
Okay.
We hooped together,
So
whatever.
he was.
I dunked on him.
Yeah.
And you know, so like I know Hunter, like I built a rapport with Hunter or whatever. So seeing him here was like I was like, oh man, yeah, da. So he hit me up later, like y'all should go Falls Ranch Falls. It's a waterfall. Like really? We've been talking about waterfalls.
I've
I'm
never
like,
seen a waterfall in person.
That's what I'm saying. Like
So I thought this should be
I
cool.
always saw Niagara.
Okay, I did see Niagara Falls. That is.
you mean the most famous?
I
Falls?
forgot.
Like, you
The fact
mean
that
the
I
most famous falls? You're
been
like,
to Niagara
I've never
Falls.
seen a waterfall.
Totally forgot.
That wine is strong.
Also, that was our anniversary, so that's nice.
Wow.
Forgot that too.
Okay. No, it's just in my head when I think waterfall, I think of like a babbling brook kind of waterfall. Niagara Falls is like.
That's the creme de la creme.
It's the top notch.
But it's like beyond a waterfall. It's like. But yes, I did. Okay, I've been to Niagara Falls.
Okay, so you've been to
Okay,
Niagara.
but I've never seen like
In
out in the
nature.
forest
Okay.
waterfall.
Fair.
Okay.
So like
Organic.
So saying,
Organic.
Yeah.
thinking like, oh, cool. I think it's cool. Dante was talking about it.
Yeah, and it's like we did so well on this first hike. Surely.
So here's the thing. We're in the
We'll be
car with
fine.
Alex, and I'm like, we get like halfway there. I'm like, you know what'd be crazy? What if we have to walk to the next to get to the waterfall?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, well, you know, most of them are like that, so you know, we'll probably have
So
to do it.
I'm gonna pause you real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
The waterfall was your idea via.
Yes.
Friend.
Correct.
Okay, so this wasn't Alex's idea.
No.
To do that. This was
it
your
was a suggestion from my friend. Yeah.
Okay.
I said,
Now, to be fair to him, Hunter has gotten into a crazy shit. He does like marathons.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like this don't bother him.
Right.
Solid dude. You know what I'm saying? So that's,
Yeah.
So I'm like, I mean, but again, the end destination just sounds great.
yeah.
Oh, it does.
You guys
The
see a
reward
waterfall.
seems worth it. Okay, so
And then you get there, and it doesn't even wait to like build up to the
No.
point. The immediate climb
Right away.
is like,
Right away.
what is this?
treacherous.
Yes.
Very treacherous.
Treacherous.
Roots everywhere, steep, and it's been raining, so it's like muddy.
Yo, so you said it was your first like
Yeah,
real
so
hike too.
Being from Florida, I've never done a legitimate hike involving inclines, declines, routes,
Sharp, like drops.
sharp
like,
drops. That was a legitimate, real,
Yeah.
legitimate experience. So
Really?
it was eye opening.
And then throw in there the fact that we're trying to keep a toddler alive
Try to keep the toddler.
on this hike.
God bless you. You took them up for the majority of the way.
That's true. Partway through the
Yeah.
hike, he said
Yeah.
he wanted to go to Uncle Brandon.
Yeah. So you kept them alive.
You got him to the falls.
To the
Yeah, man. He's so random with it. Like I just doesn't bother with me for like 30 minutes, and the next thing you know, he's like,
Where's
"Hey,
Brandon?
where is he?" And I was like,
It's like it hits him. Where's
like,
Uncle
bro, yeah,
Brandon?
like you're light enough where this won't bother me. Like,
Right,
so
right.
like it's cool.
Right. But I mean, I get it. The pressure as you're
Because
walking.
it was,
and you're-
No, like,
because it was
it's,
really uneven
There's
terrain.
steps, like these different roots popping out of, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's yeah.
And the path was like narrow.
It gets narrow as
And
you
then
go up.
like
Yeah.
right on this side it's like an incline, so it's not so bad. But like literally, you step off the path and you're gonna go like down into. So it was It was.
Would you say that the final destination was worth it? That's the question.
In my opinion, no.
I'd say.
Because I've seen Niagara Falls. So.
Now that you remember.
No, but my thoughts may have been different if we had just gone and there were no kids involved. Like if I just walked and I wasn't so like,
trying to focus on keeping
oh my
the
God,
child
I don't
alive.
want my child to fall.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, and then I would have been like, okay, this is kind of tough, but
Yeah.
this is kind of cool. We can hang out longer at the falls, but we kind of got there and had to like turn right back around.
I thought it was worth it if we got a photo, but you vacated the premise with Luke.
Because our
he
child was like, back to mommy's car, here we
It
go.
wasn't happening. So
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I got a photo of the two of us.
there was a lot of teeny boppers
There
occupying.
were.
It was.
They were getting those
Yeah,
selfies.
They got past us.
lot
and
of
that ripping-
TikTok kids operating the
They
waterfall.
really kind of like
They-
bodied the
you
like,
know, as if they were paying rent,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, for sure.
it's time
For
to
sure.
go. Where's our photo? Oh, the 2-year-old's tired. All right,
Yeah.
we're leaving.
Yeah, that was the tough part because
The TikTok kids, man.
it got to the point where like when we got there, like people followed like immediately. Another
Yes.
family, and another family, and another
Yeah,
family,
so when
like,
we were on the
immediately,
path,
yeah.
I know we passed a few people coming back, but it was like we got to the falls and I'm like, where did all these people come from?
Exactly.
And then as we started walking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like a lot of
Yeah.
people. That's what I loved about our first hike is there was like nobody. It was
Yeah.
so nice.
So I also think that we might have had a better time had we had done either only the second one first,
Yeah.
or second one,
Yeah.
or done the second one first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like by the time we finished the first one, I think like people were tired.
Right, and then we go.
Yeah. Then we
we
second
didn't
level
know
type of
what to
hike.
Yeah,
expect,
that
Right,
was,
yeah.
that was another level.
That was different.
That
So
was-
There really was a point right at the beginning where like I looked at
That was the name
You
of the game.
did on the way back.
I fell twice
You were
with
holding
child.
Luke pretty much the whole time, and you fell twice.
Yeah, but
But
the
it's
way
okay.
I fell is I'm holding him
Like,
on
to
my
the
left
side.
side, and I fell to
Fell
my
this
right.
way so he didn't go down the incline.
Right.
But
and
there was
so-
one point where I thought both my fellas were gonna be off.
Sorry, Tomlin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to thank the family for introducing me to my first hike. It was awesome.
That
Yeah.
you'll never do
Also
again.
want to retire hiking.
Yeah.
Yeah. just want to know.
So next summer when we do this trip again, somewhere else in another mountains or something, you're gonna be like,
Yeah, no. What's going to
What's
happen
your
is we're going to
taco?
be in the loop, and the minute y'all say, "Oh, we should go to the mountain," say no.
no, not
Right.
without beer.
Right.
Oh no, beer
Yeah,
is
see-
a prerequisite.
Yeah, that was a fail on my part. Usually I'm better
It's
prepared with
fun,
that.
like you know.
Yeah, but
Usually I have a cooler.
I don't know if it would have been good for you to hold Luke while.
No. It's for the after. So you
Oh,
have something to
okay. To
look
look
forward
forward to.
to. Right. Yeah.
That's true. Though I think
Well,
next year the plan is to do like Charleston for our next family trip next year. So
Like-
no.
Have you been to Charleston?
I don't go anywhere where I'd be racist.
Well.
Yeah, we're here in Blue Ridge, Georgia.
And here
No
we
offense,
are.
Blue Ridge.
You're in Blue Ridge.
No offense, Blue Ridge. I've loved it. Nobody's really been any type of crazy out here.
Right.
It's still Georgia.
Yeah.
It's Georgia.
Isn't what's called from Georgia? Paula Dean.
Paula Dean could be from South Carolina.
Or Georgia.
And yet we're going to Charleston. So
No. Well. Was she from Georgia?
I feel like she's from Georgia.
Is she from Savannah?
I don't know. I have no
She's a
idea.
Southern broad.
She's
She's
definitely
a
Southern.
Southern
So
broad.
like,
She's a
I know.
Yeah, but the
that.
unfortunate thing with you guys living in Virginia and us in Florida, it's like if we're trying to meet halfway,
I know.
it's gotta be.
Dude, I know. Like, there's as long as y'all take me like Kentucky or Tennessee or
No,
Missouri
we won't go.
or Alabama,
No,
we're good.
we
Like,
won't go
don't
that way.
bring me to any of those.
We won't
Tennessee
go there.
maybe, but like, if we're going to Tennessee, we gotta go.
Nashville's cool.
We gotta go. Oh, you mean Bachelorette Weekend's Paradise?
Oh my God! Yeah, it's like it's like more bachelorette parties in Las Vegas or something. I don't. It was
It's
ridiculous.
Bachelorette Las Vegas.
When my friend Jessica and I were there, we saw so many bachelorette parties. It was.
It's like, Charlie, y'all all can't be getting married.
It
That's
was
crazy.
outrageous. Yeah, it
Right,
was.
You're gonna kill this here. No, you still got a lot more.
I know.
Like,
Okay.
give this to Brandon. Brandon.
Our
We might,
gracious host.
we might have pulled out a third one.
I was gonna say I might.
We might be ready.
Especially if I'm not super into this one, I might go snag the Cooper sock.
We got plenty upstairs.
That'd be
We'll get as many as we can.
Yeah.
But yeah, like as long as we're like in like a state where I feel like, but the good thing about y'all is, and I've always felt this with like, and I think I've told you this before, is ever since I've ever been introduced to y'all been like very well.
Oh my
Whatever.
gosh. Grateful that you took Anna off our hands.
I
I love you, Anna.
you know, we all have regrets, and but y'all, like I said, y'all have always been welcome. Even meeting you for the first time, like you know, you meet people, certain people, and like they can be like standoffers, but like
Sure.
y'all been pretty welcome. Whatever.
Sure.
And so like I've never felt like I've never been accepted or y'all felt like iffy about me or
Yeah.
whatever. So that I feel like if anything ever happened, like y'all would have my back or whatever.
Oh, absolutely. Oh.
But I like I tell people all the time, I don't fight. I stab people now.
So there's
you
that.
want to get in the fight? That's
Yeah.
like
I'm not picking.
we're not fisticuffs.
I'm not
I'm
picking a
stabbing
fight
the
with
movement. That's all I got. I don't have time to do the wrestling, tussle, and shit. I don't got time for that. So let's get into like some of y'all. Very lightly. We don't have to talk like crazy into detail about your occupations or whatever. But for you specifically, teaching in the pandemic, it's different.
Very different, yeah.
So you're an art teacher, and
Yes.
a lot of art is like kind of hands-on, but like you weren't able to do that this
I
year.
could not.
So
No.
what was the struggles and how did you adapt to like working during that?
So I wasn't allowed to use my art room, so I was on a cart, which in and of itself is a struggle because there's only so many things you can carry on your cart. You're going into another teacher's space and you don't want to make a mess in their room. Obviously, a classroom is not set up like the art room. You know, like I have, my floor gets dirty, who cares? I have enough sinks, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I was very actually at the beginning of the year, my principal, she's like very by the book, which is awesome because, we're trying to keep everyone safe. Originally was like, you might have to do more of like art history type stuff, which in my head I'm like, oh my gosh, these like kids, like, it's K through 5. I'm like, eh. But thankfully we had a donation from the United Way where every student got like a bag of just the basics, markers, crayons. And so I was able to bring, paper. So I told the kids, I'm like, some art is better than no art. I'm like, last year we ended the school year. I didn't get to see you guys. It was all virtual. I'm like, at least we're here in person. And I kept saying to them, I was like, you're drawing, because we did like basically just drawing. It was all drawing. Because at the same time, it's like I'm on a cart, I'm in the classroom, and I've got like 5 or 6 kids at home, virtual. So even if I had a teacher that was like, oh, you can paint in my room, that's fine. It's like, okay, well, what are the kids at home going to do? I need to make sure it's equal, so that was a struggle. But I will say, across the board, the drawing skills of my kids from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, like, really improved. So next year will be fun, and I can kind of build on that. I think I'll get to, or this coming year, oh my gosh, only a few weeks away. I should be back in my art room, I hope, and and hopefully this year it'll make them even more, they'll be back in the art room and they'll be like, oh, we're so grateful, that we actually get to be back here now. So yeah, it definitely was a struggle, but I mean, overall, the kids were, they took everything in stride, and all the teachers, and staff, everyone was just doing, everything they could to keep everyone safe and, still try to make it as fun as you could for the kiddos. So, but I'm glad that the year is over.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm glad that year is over.
Like that, I mean, that's gotta be tough. Just
I have kids who don't know what I look like.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah, that makes sense though.
My entire group of kindergartners plus, I mean, I at the beginning of the year like did a little slideshow where I was like, here's a picture of my family, but kindergarten, they forget whatever. And I actually, towards the end of the year, right before summer break, I was at Publix, and you didn't have to have your mask on anymore at that point.
Store.
They have Publix.
We
in
have,
Virginia.
we actually have it.
Okay, I
It
didn't know
got
if
moved.
your
It got moved up.
It moved up to
about 2
Virginia.
years ago. Yep.
Yeah, and I
You're
saw. You're welcome.
No, we are thankful.
Better than a pub sub.
It got like crops and stuff. Even though I used to love crops, like breakfast pizza, fire.
Yeah.
But we'll take off. That's fine.
Publix is pretty good. But I ran into a student, and he was like, he did a double take, so I didn't have my mask on because at that point you didn't have to anymore. And he was like, at Publix you didn't. And he was like, Mrs. Watson. I'm like, oh hey. And thankfully I knew him from last year because like some of my kindergartners who have worn masks like all year, it's gonna be harder for me to recognize them as well because But anyway, so all that kind of strangeness. Yeah, but I made it through and. Strange time.
It was.
Yeah.
That it was.
No, that's teachers are already hard, but then like you add like different like elements like this where it's like you can't physically like be with like kids like a lot, like touch and like help them like hands on more. But it's definitely more difficult, and I think hopefully, and it's always been like a fight for like years, like let's get these teachers more money, right?
Oh, sure.
Because, like,
yeah. It's
like I watched too many parents early in that pandemic be like, oh, it's so hard to teach your kids. Like, yes, that's what we're trying to tell you for years.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like, dude, it's not babysitting. It's like legit.
No,
it's a
it's
legit
not
job.
babysitting, and there's so many things with teaching that, yes, we went to school to be teachers, but nowadays with teaching, it's like, you're expected to be more than just a teacher. It's like also be their therapist, and also, like be the social worker, and also like there's so, and teach them manner. It's like, okay, we've moved away from, hey, you're just teaching them whatever, math, writing, arithmetic, or whatever. We're like, you're expected to do all of that. And I could never be like these regular classroom teachers. Thankfully, as an art teacher, I don't have, I don't have to deal as much with the parents. I know we're parents, you guys are parents, but parents are the worst sometimes.
No, not sometimes.
Yeah. So I'm grateful that I don't have to, but to these classroom teachers, I mean, I don't know how they do it. teaching's not easy.
And then there's your job.
And then there's my job.
Let me explain to you something that I don't know if you ever watched or like heard. Breakfast Club, the New York radio podcast.
Not the famous 80s
Movie.
No. Classic. But Charlamagne the God says the same thing every time there is something that happens in Florida. He says the same thing. He says the craziest people in America are the Bronx and the entire state of Florida.
Yeah.
So like you deal with like just on a normal basis, like crazy things that happen in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Like you've seen the stories that happen in Florida. Dude gets eaten by dude on meth gets eaten by alligator. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
or face eaters.
you know what I'm saying? So like that's a normal occasion. So did anything change during the pandemic for you?
Oh,
or is it any worse, any better? Like was it like less stuff? Like what is it like to be?
So I'll be honest with you. The majority of the pandemic, I was a detective. I recently got promoted, so I'm back on the road as a supervisor. But before that, I was a detective, and so they were really like sketched out. Like we can't get you if you're sick. They're like you're mandated 2 weeks off. So it's like everybody was like walking on eggshells. Like detectives normally go into an office, you drink coffee, you know, shoot the shit, eat donuts, and slam black coffee. You know, do your paperwork, make your phone calls or whatever. So they were so scared about spreading the virus, they say, you better stay home. So that was a weird element, because now I'm working from home. She's working from home. She's doing it. And
Thank
now
God for our son's babysitter. We were still able to take Luke to his babysitter. He was at a private babysitter. So thankfully we still were able to take him, because I was like, this is not.
So I'm working on cases for my house, and it just had an odd feel to it. But the influx was obviously there. People are more desperate because, you know, economically they're out of work or whatever it may be. So obviously that's going to increase crime rates.
Correct. Yep.
And so our caseload definitely increased.
Like
and
domestic
domestic
violence.
violence.
People are trapped in their homes together.
Yeah, you're dealing with your spouse longer.
A lot of marriages ended during this pandemic because they realized that they don't actually love the person that they're married.
Well, so there's that, but also a huge thing that, you know, it gets addressed is the mental illness. I mean, the amount of Baker Acts we were doing, the amount of people, you know, not to get dark here, but the amount of suicides we were having to respond to as a detective, obviously have to investigate, and it was substantially higher. And it was just a very odd time, and you know, really, I don't think we've had anything in this country parallel to it since like 9/11, as far in the sense of like disruption
Of the whole country. Of everybody,
You know what I mean? Like status quo,
Increase of paranoia.
Increase of paranoia. I mean, you saw it all. So it was definitely an interesting time. And then, you know, obviously you had all sorts of stuff. You had riots on top of it too. Obviously for Derek Chauvin's shenanigans, garbage.
For sure.
So you had a whole mess of stuff there, and it was just like you had to handle it all and kind of put a Band-Aid on everything and keep moving. But the element of working from home was really odd.
It's weird for people in that field because it's like it's so hands-on, like in the field, like I'm out in the community. I'd
be home and we would have calls. They would be like, "Oh, this stolen vehicle just happened," and I would run out the door. You remember that? I would be like running out the door. Because it's like, oh, okay, like technically I'm still on the job, but I'm like running out of my house. For like an incident that was just happening. And it was just odd. I mean, I'm glad we're finally getting back into the groove of things. And everybody's a little less on eggshells now, obviously, because. That whole year was just so tense and just for a whole mess of reasons. And but I'm glad it's kind of easing back into that sense of normalcy, man. It's desperately needed. Because people, I mean, like I said, they're just losing it. They're just losing it.
People have just been on edge. They don't like what I've learned about this the major lesson I learned about this pandemic, man, is, and I've known it for years.
Yeah.
But it's just like people don't like being told no.
Sure.
They hate it. They
Sure.
Hate, they hate
Americans hate being told no.
I feel like I was being nice.
Yeah.
But like
that's the reality.
they don't like being told no.
Sure.
And I noticed that people don't understand what the Constitution is. They don't.
Sure.
They don't know it.
Yeah.
I hate people who hide behind the Constitution. The Constitution says that that's my right. It's like, bro, did you?
It's my right to go get groceries.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like what
Yeah.
you're actually talking about?
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
Right.
And Americans are like they are so spoiled by
Oh yeah.
the rights that we have, and they boast about it, but then they don't understand them.
Well, yeah, they think, my favorite is, in law enforcement, you deal with this quite a bit, is, well, I have a right to do this, and you get there and be like, dude, this is a private business, they can kick you out because they don't like your shoes.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what to tell you, you gotta leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the end of that. So, the whole mask thing, I found comical, because it was like, oh, they're kicking me out because I'm not wearing a mask. I'm like, they could kick you out for a lot less.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, but
Yeah.
this is
Practically.
support another business that
Yeah.
that supports your beliefs. If that's the route you want to go,
Right.
Yeah.
you know what I mean. At the end of the day,
Yeah. It's
right, wrong, and different.
Right.
The reality is, it's like if you invite people over to your house. If you don't like the way somebody's behaving, you have that right as that property
kick them
owner
out, yeah.
to say, hey, you can go ahead and go elsewhere.
Absolutely.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Yeah.
Type of
The,
thing.
the old adage.
Yeah, yeah.
The old adage
Yeah.
that I say at least once a night.
To her.
No.
To her.
Rude. No.
No, man. No.
But yeah, I mean, but like I said, dude, y'all have two jobs that I do appreciate, and I know with specifically like with like police work,
Yeah.
it's a job that people have grown to. It's under a microscope, right?
Sure. Sure.
Oh yeah.
At the same time, it is a thankless job at times. At times, not everybody always
Yeah.
appreciates it.
You know, like Chris Rock has like a great bit where he's like, you know, where he goes into like he's going on about Rodney King and how god awful it was, but he was like, at the same time, y'all get what you pay for. And he's talking about the American public, and he's like, and this is, I hate to tell y'all, but this is a national epidemic you're having. Qualified people and good people are not applying. It's the reality. They're not applying to be cops. So it's like, it's this sick cycle where now it's like, okay, well, you know, we want better cops, but then we don't want to fund to get better cops. So now we're not getting great people, which makes us trust the police less. And then it's like, it's just this sick cycle that continues. And it's like, how do you stop it?
Right.
And I generally don't know the answer. I know it ebbs and flows, but it's one of those things where it's like qualified, good people. Like, yeah, you know, I think I'll go into accounting, or maybe I'll be a nurse. And those people don't go that route. So it's like the qualified candidate. And now, as an administrator, it's like, okay, well, do I not hire people and just run even less people? And so I'm going to call 911, and now my wait time is 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. I mean, if you look at Flint, Michigan, it was 24 hours for an armed robbery response time. Like, these are the things they're weighing. It's like, okay, or do I let this guy slip through the cracks because I need a body to answer a 911 call? And it's like, this is where we are. And I think we can get there. It's just a tough time right now, man. And
I think with the microscope on,
right,
more people's talking about it, more people jumping at you, we want better.
right,
I feel like eventually there has to be some type of like change or some type of reform that will help get these like people who want to do the job,
right,
but then like have the incentive to do the job.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's the same thing here with teaching, I feel like, because it's like, I mean, golly, you guys get paid nothing. And it's like, these are...
You get summers off, though.
You're entrusting your children to these people.
Yeah.
I mean, more time than you are invested almost as more time.
Yeah, a lot of our
than-
students are at, obviously they see their teacher more than, especially if they're in like early care, aftercare. You know what I mean?
This is, and I get it. It's public work. I can't expect that private work salary. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But it is something as a society you do have to look at and go, if this is the amount of time that is being invested for the public, do we have to reevaluate the incentives, the qualifications needed, the amount of time invested, and I don't know. That is a very complex. We're getting a little too heavy. I feel like.
Don't worry. If you know anything about the show, it will go downhill from here.
Don't even start.
Like our hike today.
Yeah,
it won't go downhill.
We'll do all the heavy stuff in the first half. Second half is smooth.
It's smooth sailing.
It's smooth sailing.
So yeah, I think to conclude it is, I think there are men and women that do both of our jobs, and they do it. If they do it with a servant's heart, and that's the key. You have to look at your children and recognize the fact that you are investing in trying to better society for the future. And me, I'm no better than these people that I'm serving. I am serving them. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to assist. If it's that mentality and you keep it that way every day, and you just ensure it's that every day, that you are not better than them, that the public is entrusting you with this occupation, I think you have a solid society. But unfortunately, we're all human, and a lot of times humans get it twisted real quick. And you got to back it up and recognize what you're there for, and maintain that servant's heart. But one line.
I think that's the perfect way to just step away from the heavy shit.
Yes.
But who am I?
They got dark real quick.
It's okay.
I got dark real quick.
Is there a port here?
Yeah, let's get
is
to
that
the.
what
Speaking
this
of
is?
heavy,
Oh, look at you with the segue.
The segue.
That's a good segue.
This is a port.
Yeah, it's a Martinez Fine Ruby Porto. It says Porto. I assume that's normal.
It may be Italian or Spanish.
Italian.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be one. I don't know what it's called.
They say the ports are supposed to go with like cigars.
Yeah.
So it's a.
To be fair, I don't do this one.
I think it's one that you like slowly sip.
Yeah. No one Neil.
I'll
I'll just get right to
I'm
it.
gonna be honest with you.
We'll just get right to it.
Yeah.
Do what you gotta do, Brandon.
First,
No pressure. Nobody's watching.
Yeah, it's not like it's being recorded or anything.
Hey, bro, let me tell you something right now. I'm gonna struggle to get this open. Usually, I have my watch called and my electric one, and I thought about it. I was like,
I should bring it. No.
And I was like, no, it's gonna be fine.
No, I'll be all right.
And I don't know if that's gonna be true or not. I don't.
Anybody from Cooper's Hawk, if you could come to our location and
Yeah,
assist
at this point, yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, but let's talk about you guys. That's the easiest thing for me to do as I try to open this. So you guys have been parents for 2 years.
Yes.
The first thing I will ask is, people always talk about the terrible twos.
Oh.
Do you think that's a thing?
Okay.
Or do you think it's just like overflow?
You had much more childhood education experience.
So here's what I'm seeing with Luke. Obviously I'm biased, but Luke's a pretty awesome kid.
Sure.
But I think when they hit the age of 2, like what I've noticed is he's got this sense of independence. Like he's hit this like, I can do it now. I can not, go in my stroller. I can walk. I can, whatever. So you have to balance it out, because I do want him to start doing more things on his own.
Sure.
So I want to encourage that, but also teaching them, hey, you are only 2. Like there are limitations. So yeah, I think we've had more, he's had more meltdowns and things like that. But it's just a matter of, just handling it. And
So my response to that question is, I haven't seen 3.
That's the one.
I haven't seen 3.
I heard
This
it's
is
called
Rex. Oh,
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, so far he turned 2 months ago. May, June, July. Yeah, 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So far,
That's
I
all
mean.
because it's a.
Oh! That would have been
Yeah,
good.
just so
Is that a common port thing where it's just that?
brother, this is my first one.
So, some for your viewers to answer. Is this a common port thing
We're gonna
with
find
this?
Probably.
We were under the impression we had. Look how dark that is. Violent.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
That is.
That's gonna be rough.
It'll be good. It'll be fine.
We're gonna find out. That's a fact.
I mean, either way, fetch together.
You seem nervous already.
I'm getting whiffs of
It's
it.
yours, so there you go.
I'm getting whiffs of it. So.
Yeah, but
let's go.
the 3 Rex is really the one because at that point they're able to talk a little bit better.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so the Y's and the talkbacks like get a
Yeah.
little bit more heavier. 2's is more like they're just like testing your limits.
Yes.
And we've seen a lot.
We've seen it
during
with
the
the
vacation.
stairs.
And
With
he's
stairs here. Yep.
let's just see if I can go upstairs.
Yeah.
Like, are you gonna let me do it or not?
Yeah.
And so like that's really what
Yeah.
the 2's are about. I don't believe in terrible 2's. I believe in the 3 Ninjas or aka 3 Rex.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it's. I'm trying to figure out because with Dante now it's like he's not a bad kid, right?
Right.
Dante's a very good kid.
But it's like his personality continues to grow.
Yeah.
So like it's like testing the limits with real sentences.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're like, dog, like you don't talk like this. You don't
Yeah.
talk like this to me, at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah.
So it's like I need you to scale it back.
Yeah.
Remember who you're talking to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think
Now, as fathers, do you two? Because we've had this conversation where Andrew has said obviously we don't know for sure, but he's harder on Luke because Luke's a boy. Do you feel like if you had a daughter, you'd be a little, or do you think it's like I'm going to be firm no matter what?
Go first. I can definitely work. I can definitely.
I don't have a daughter, and obviously you
And
don't.
that's my answer.
Yeah.
I can't answer
Yeah,
that
you
question.
can't say for
Yeah.
sure.
So
Yeah.
I can't say for sure. I would have to have a daughter in front of me and
I think
her eyes and all that. But yeah, with Luke, I think what it is as men.
You also had no experience with kids like at all.
Oh, at all. Zero child
'Cause he's
care
an only
experience. Did you
child.
have any child care experience prior to Dante?
I mean, not really, but I guess to be fair, me and my brother are teams apart.
Okay.
So like, not quite, but like
Little. You like remember him when he was like young? You remember? Yeah.
Okay.
So like, it kind of it's like I would change. I think I changed like a couple diapers or whatever, but like as far as like watching him, like I did that a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think as fathers, it's very difficult because you look at the world, you look at what is thrown at us as adults, whatever it may be, and you're just doing your best to ensure that they're going to be a solid man.
Yeah.
And that's not easy. That's arguably the hardest job.
Yeah.
And
especially with the ever-changing world.
Yeah.
it's an ever-changing world.
Yeah.
So
It's like on the fly.
you just have to constantly call audibles, lack of better terms. And I think that's the case. And I'm not saying I wouldn't invest in our daughter, if we ever had a daughter, to be a strong woman.
But
It's
you might
just
go in a more gentle way.
I just have the expectation because I'm a man and I want to ensure Luke is a better man than I am. And so that's
an ultimate goal.
That's
Yeah.
that's the bar I'm setting, and it's a very high bar I'm setting because I want, and I mean he's 2, so it's like I need to tone it down. Like I expect him to pay taxes next year.
I mean that'd be helpful.
That would be helpful, but it's something that I think men wrestle with. If you're a dad, father, there's that sense of testosterone that gets a little bit unchecked because you're like, well, this is what the world's going to expect of you, and you need to be a provider, you need to be a protector, you need to be sensitive to others. You need to be, caring. You need to be gentle. You need to be kind, but also stern, firm. Like you have to be all these things at once, and not being a woman, it's just something that like as a daughter you want to invest in, to be like, hey, be a strong woman, knowing that I am a father that can essentially, this is how a man should treat you.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh yeah.
So it's just a different lens.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the best way
dynamic.
I can describe it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, like, for me, I probably treat a daughter the same exact way.
You
Yeah.
think so?
Only because like, you get the, oh, she's wrapped around his finger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, I don't want to ever like make it like it's disparaging.
Sure.
Yeah.
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 Like, I want to be like, listen,
Yeah.
this is life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Because you're doing a disservice to her.
right, like, I don't want to set you up where like, oh, everybody's this nice.
Yeah,
That's
no.
not
How
how it
the
works.
world works.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm a big person on like realism. Like, this is how it's gonna work.
Yeah.
Like, so like with Dante, even with Dante used to fall and stuff and hurt himself, and I was like, don't help him out. Just he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he'll eventually stop crying, and I would
Yeah.
probably do the same thing with the girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and be like, all right, I probably would like cut the time difference a little bit less.
Yeah.
Like Dante like 5 minutes, like her, I'll be like 2.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I like 2. Like, all right, come on. You know what I'm saying? But I think that making it, trying to treat it the same probably helps better, because like you growing up the exact same way, and
Sure.
you're
Yeah.
developing like thick skin tongues, and that's
Yeah.
really all I want them to have. Is like, and I'm still working with him, bro. Just you can't like let people bother you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
because you let them bother you, they pick at it. They just keep up.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
they win.
You know what I'm saying? If you just don't let them bother you,
Yeah.
To be confident in who you are.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Whatever that may be.
Yeah.
So this is a port.
Are you getting thirsty, Andrew?
He wants it.
Getting thirsty over here?
I'm hoping that this battery lasts for that. All right, so it is a port. Let's see.
That smells heavy.
That is.
It smells heavy. Do you
that is-
smell how heavy
How
that
much
is?
did I pour in this?
This is heavy.
Yeah, this is.
Where did you get this?
I got this from Total Wine.
Okay.
Yeah,
So what made you get a port?
it was different.
It was different.
Yeah,
Have you
it has
done a port before?
You know. So again, another first.
Were you aware that they're heavy?
I did.
Yeah.
You know, the port beers, like you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yes,
Very heavy.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, why not? Let's give it a try. You know what I'm saying?
It smells like it may have tequila in it.
What?
That's the vibe.
But then
That's how
again, you
heavy.
smelled peach in the other one, and
All right. Heavy raisin vibes. Heavy raisin.
Oh,
I will tell you this: it's not bad.
that's
It really
oddly
isn't.
sweet.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. And you know what's funny is a lot of the winos are probably like, well, no shit. It's
Yeah, they're like, shut up. Like, but
Yeah,
this
but
isn't bad.
this is.
I will say, you could probably have like one glass of this and call it a day, just based off the initial.
I'm honestly really shocked by how sweet it is.
Are you getting the raisin vibes?
Yeah.
Are you getting the raisin vibes? I mean,
I
grapes.
definitely understand
But-
where you're going with it. Martinez Port, owned by the Sivington family, has been producing quality ports from Portugal's beautiful
Portugal.
Douro Valley for over 2 centuries. Martinez Ruby is full and rich, packed with delicious fresh bramble fruit flavors, which will leave a satisfying lingering aftertaste. Ideal for enjoying with cheese or dark chocolate dessert.
Yeah.
Lead to the can, open, enjoy within 4 weeks.
Mm.
So, doesn't tell you the fruit specifically, but I would assume like grapes.
Well,
You know, which raisins, you know,
right.
sun, raisin, sun.
So like
You know,
definitely like
It does taste like a raisin.
I'm getting major
Major
raisin
raisin.
vibes.
Yeah, I mean, it's good though. It's definitely good.
Did it say what year this was?
Let's
bottled?
see. Let's check. It does. There's a percentage one.
If I mean,
Is it? Oh my god. 19.
tequila vibes, I was getting.
That is crazy.
Because it is a heavy hitter.
It is a heavy hitter.
That's up there. That's
What's
up
the
there.
Riesling? Probably like 6% or something?
No,
12.8.
12.
12.8, okay.
That's
19, oh my.
Yeah, we're moving on up.
Thank God we're staying here. At the
That's
Clueless
about as
time.
steep as the driveway out there.
yeah.
Yeah.
The quick.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that was.
That's about as steep as that.
That is the one. Like Neo from the Matrix.
The Matrix, but she still hasn't seen.
I have not seen the Matrix.
Whoa. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna like stop the battery.
Yeah.
And we're gonna hop right back into that.
Oh no!
That is.
A crime?
Oh my God. That's a joke, right? Though. Like, I mean,
She
I'm gonna
hasn't
hop
seen
back
it.
in it.
She hasn't seen it, dog. Not a thing. Not a thing. And
So
we're
you've
back.
never seen the Matrix?
So we've never seen The Matrix. Or
I haven't.
She's never.
You-
I watched the whole trilogy.
So, okay.
So I remember when it came out. What year did it come out?
1999.
Okay, so I was 9 years old.
Yes.
And I remember when it came out, and I remember like people talking about it, and then I don't know, I guess by the time it was like, hey, it's like out on DVD or on TV, whatever, it just was never something that I
So,
watched.
okay, so you never.
I'm not opposed to it, I definitely would watch it. I like
Yeah.
sci-fi stuff.
Okay. So, okay, so give me an example of a sci-fi movie that you have watched. So you're a liar. so you're a liar.
No. We've watched Interstellar,
Oh my god, well Interstellar, yeah, Gravity.
Gravity. Those are both space movies, but they could be sci-fi. So yeah, Interstellar, Gravity. What was one? Signs. You've watched
Would you
Signs?
consider that sci-fi?
Yeah, that's sci-fi. Or is that more
Is that the one where-
fantasy,
Oh, is that the one where like
horror?
They're on a farm, and there's like.
And then, like,
the,
Mel
the,
Gibson.
the weakness of water?
No.
Yes,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, for the aliens, yeah.
I guess.
Like a horror sci-fi.
I mean,
But I've read sci-fi books. Well,
So
actually,
I wouldn't even consider Matrix sci-fi as
Westworld.
more so cyberpunk.
Westworld. We watched.
Cyberpunk is kind of
Okay.
what Matrix is.
Okay, I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
So I'm gonna be real with you. What I love about the Matrix is the element, and I don't want to give away too much for stuff because we already watched it.
But I do know. I mean, unfortunately, it's one of those movies that has been out for so long now that like.
You know the plot.
You don't.
No, I'm still gonna. No, I'm still gonna watch it. I'm just saying there's certain things about it that I know.
Sure, but I get that, but the fact that it makes you question, like, genuinely, like, what is real? You know, and that's a theory that's been debated about for decades.
Yeah.
About
yeah.
different dimensions and
Oh,
so
yeah.
forth, and how do you know that this couch is real? How do you know this wine you're drinking is real? How do you know that all of those are?
I know there's a philosopher who says, but I'm not gonna try to quote it.
Okay,
I don't want to embarrass myself.
okay, negate that. But
But I'll look it up later.
the Matrix is great, especially because we're moving in a direction, technology-wise,
Where
that is
virtual reality.
I mean, the
What would
the
you
VR.
consider Inception?
That would be.
I would say that's in a similar vein.
Yeah, I mean that's Christopher Nolan. He doesn't dabble too much in science fiction, but
But the
definitely.
concept of like going into someone's dreams
Sure, I would say it's
is more
sci-fi.
sci-fi.
Yeah, I would. I'd say it's in the same. It's in a similar vein.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. A lot of stuff is like the scenes in Matrix.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's
where-
what
it's where
that's,
really-
that's where I got
really set it
sold.
apart. You
That's
know
where
what
I
I'm
got sold, but as I got older, the
The
mental
actual-
element of it
Right,
was like,
the-
oh my gosh, this is actually stuff I actually find fascinating.
Like do people actually plug in?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And now that we're entering a world with Oculus Rift, VR stuff, where it's like, okay, you're occupying my hearing sense, my seeing sense, and it's like, dude, all that's left is like touch, taste, and smell. If you occupy 2 out of my 5 senses, what if you occupy all 5?
Yeah.
And that's what you have as Matrix at that point. If you occupy all 5 senses.
I'm big into anime. And
Sure.
There's this anime called Serial Experiments in Life, and the anime is basically it's this girl who basically becomes the internet.
Okay.
She starts off like a regular computer, but like as the thing goes on, she like feels like basically predicts
Wow.
how people like use the internet.
That's impressive, man.
So it's like a lot of those old school shows and those movies and those animes, they basically foreshadow what we're dealing with right now.
That's insane.
So yeah,
that's heavy.
Yeah, Matrix. I would say Matrix is a classic, bro. You have to
Now,
go watch it.
what are your thoughts on the entire trilogy? Like, when you say Matrix, do you mean for me to watch the whole trilogy or just like the
I
first?
would say watch the first.
Just the first.
Second
That's
one's
what I
pretty
heard.
hot, though. Second one's pretty good.
It's good for fights.
Yeah, second
The
one's awesome.
story just
Yeah,
is like
it's-
you're just like, and then you get to the third, like don't even.
Yeah,
bother.
third's
Don't
pretty
even
rough.
bother.
Third's pretty rough.
And what's crazy is that they're coming with 4.
Really?
This year is supposed to be Matrix 4 and John Wick 4, like either same day or similar time frame.
Sign me up.
Keanu Reeves like,
Now, I
I'll
watched
get
John
this
Wick.
money.
I heard about that.
I am getting this
Oh my.
money.
Wait, is he going to be in the fourth Matrix?
Yes.
Oh hell yeah.
I
Parenthood.
actually did watch John Wick, and I enjoyed that.
Really?
Yeah.
John Wick's
Wait,
like,
did I also watch the second one with you?
No, you haven't.
No, I just watched the first one.
You'll like the second
Yeah.
and third. If you like the first, second,
Yeah,
third are
but-
hysterical.
John Wick is very,
I
very
don't
much
like
like what? But
that's the thing.
that's his motivation.
Yeah, it's why else is John Wick gonna get out of bed and slay these people?
Yeah.
That's true.
What
Yeah,
a-
that's his whole motivation.
That
man.
broke my heart when that happened.
Well, yeah, rightfully so. These people have to pay.
It's crazy because like John Wick has become, or Keanu Reeves has become like, I wouldn't say he's like typecast.
He almost is though. He almost is.
But he can still
A
do
quiet,
like
a quiet, sensitive killer.
What's that other movie he's in? The Ted and
Oh,
it called? he did the thing.
where
for
he's
that.
like an idiot.
Yes.
Right? They're like dopey. I can't remember the other guy's name.
I forgot.
Ted, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
There we go.
There we go.
So like he's had that, but other than that, he's basically silent, brooding.
Yeah, it's all like
I will murder
action. Except there was one movie I saw him in where he was like, I'm not even joking, I think he was like a serial killer.
So you know how life imitates art. Keanu, in real life, doesn't his fiance die?
Died or
Yeah, and
something.
wasn't she pregnant?
Yeah, like
I can't remember if she was
Tragic.
pregnant. I know it was a tragic death.
Very
tragic.
Kind of hurt him, and now he dates like a woman way older than he is.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
older
so
than
he's
him.
with another woman now.
Yeah,
Okay.
now. But he was
Loves her.
for a while.
But, like,
was
he-
like,
So-
He was struggling.
yeah.
Yeah, so like a lot of these characters, I feel like he does is almost a mere reflection of.
Kind of wants to see what he wants to be.
Yeah, yeah,
And
Yeah.
it helps him. It's probably therapeutic.
Good
Yeah.
artist,
Honestly,
yeah.
probably.
There's no who would you say is the most typecast movie actor
Oh,
in
that's.
what you call it? I had
Vin
my
Diesel.
choice. You're saying Vin Diesel.
Ooh,
Why
that's
do you say?
good.
So
That's
you're
good.
saying Vin Diesel? Okay. Go and give you an explanation.
Yeah.
I can't think of a movie any movie he's been in where he doesn't play some like an action.
Yeah.
See, and my response to that is Jason Statham.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
That's
and I
extremely
agree with that
typecast.
one as well.
Yeah.
Have you seen Spy? Yes, he's an action, but it's also comedy and it's hilarious.
But I feel like he was that in the what is the movie where the car battery is keeping him alive?
Oh, I haven't seen that
Cranked?
one.
Is it Cranked?
Yeah, I believe so. I feel like he's funny in that too.
I didn't see
Like
that.
he's comedic in that
The guy's
too.
also, doesn't he voice something in Finding Nemo 2 or Finding Dory?
No.
No.
You're thinking of Jeffrey Rush.
Oh
as the
yeah, as
Pelican,
a pelican. Yeah, that's
as
right.
Nigel. Which, by the way, I love when like actors you don't expect to do Pixar movies
And
do
they're
Pixar
Pixar
movies.
Yeah,
I like
Willem
that a
Dafoe.
lot. Willem Dafoe. I mean, there's a whole slew of them.
Yeah.
I didn't even expect. I mean, it makes sense now because Ellen DeGeneres has kids on her show.
Yeah.
Prior to Finding Nemo, did she have the show before Finding Nemo?
The talk show?
Yeah.
Yo, yeah, she's had that for
I think,
years.
yeah, she's actually about to retire from
Yeah, this is her
it.
last season.
Yeah. But who do you think is the most
There is
typecast?
no actor who has been more typecast than Liam Neeson.
You think so?
This dog, look at his
What
last
about-
few movies. Literally.
Okay, well, last few
He-
we'll go.
He
we'll go.
doesn't do anything
I get
but
it.
like
I get
action
it.
movies.
I get it.
And it's like, bro, like all of them.
But you go back in the '90s. He did Schindler's List.
Did-
He did.
I'm
Les
only
Mis. He did Les
talking about
Mis.
recently.
Okay, recently.
He
Yeah.
did Taken.
Yeah.
And he was like,
This is it.
I feel
this
like
is
once
this is
he
who I
did
am.
Taken, yeah. But his wife also tragically died.
Right. So maybe he.
it might be a thing. Maybe
It
it's
might
a
be
thing.
that brooding.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's true. I feel like once he did Taken, it's like since he's done Taken, it's just
Bro,
all
he
been.
is just been like, I'm gonna be the guy.
right. I'm gonna be.
And
This
maybe
guy.
it's because like, and I'm overanalyzing. Maybe it's because like he feels in control of being able to save people. That he
Sure.
does. And
Sure.
And
Yeah.
in a way that he couldn't do for his wife.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's heavy shit.
I mean, it's possible. I
That's
don't
heavy shit.
know, but that could be it. You know.
Yeah.
That hurts. That's rough.
Ooh, man,
I
I
get
get
it.
another sip of this.
Yeah.
That was.
That's
was-
heavy.
that was-
that's
that was
that's
tough, guys.
heavier than this port. 19%.
Okay. I usually do like a question round with y'all, but I'm
Okay.
gonna do it with them later. And
Oh my God.
They
Okay.
are loud.
Keep this.
We've made it so far.
Yeah, no, we've done a pretty good job. Okay, as far as date night goes for you guys,
Okay.
what's an ideal date night for you guys? What's something where you got a babysitter?
Okay.
And
Angela.
right. You got a babysitter. What's like? All right, this is what we're gonna do. We got like 2 to 3 hours. What's something that they
Can we make it 4?
I will push the 4.
4.
I think like dinner and drinks is like classic. Like
Yeah, quintessential.
going to a restaurant, drinks, but I think we try to every now and then do something with like some sort of like culture, like artsy culture. It's been a while. I mean, it's hard in a time of a pandemic to like, but we just were saying how if that new Wes Anderson movie hits theaters, we want to
Yeah.
go see that
Oh,
in
yeah.
theaters.
So that's
the French
the
Dispatch
French. So have you dabbled much with
Wes
Wes Anderson
Anderson.
movies?
Give me some, and I will let you know.
So there's Bottle Rocket. There's Darjeeling Limited.
Royal
Royal
Tenenbaums.
Tenenbaums, probably the most famous. Rushmore. The Life Aquatic. Grand Budapest. He's just not flinching. Grand Budapest.
So, I guess maybe I should have started with this. I don't really like movies. I'm a TV series guy. To be fair.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm a
That's
very
totally
TV
fair.
series type guy. So
I just spilled pork.
I watch things like
So thankfully I have this blanket. I just spilled on myself.
And there's
no one would have
that's
noticed
true.
that.
We'll edit that out.
But now you told everybody, so now they know.
Because it was probably.
I've always been in shows like I don't know if y'all ever seen Orphan Black.
I have heard of it, and I know that when it was on, it was like got all the. I mean, that's like a sci-fi show.
Orphan Black, Bates Motel, we picked up that. There's a bunch.
You would like Westworld.
I think I would.
For science fiction, no joke. Westworld's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like you would get amongst it.
A lot of thing with me is you gotta get me to watch the beginning. If you can accidentally have me stumble upon the beginning of something,
I'm telling you right now, you'll have no issue.
You don't
with
understand.
Westworld.
Like Anna fooled me into watching Pretty Little Liars. And listen,
Yeah.
I know, I understand it.
The
wasn't-
show.
Yes,
Right.
it wasn't built for me, but like by the time I kept running
You were
into the show,
invested.
I was like, who the hell is this A?
You were.
Yeah.
So
invested.
I had to see
You
it
had
through.
to see it through.
That was it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
that's how you have to catch me.
Okay.
So I know Wes Anderson. I the name rings a
Sure,
bell.
yeah, he's a very eclectic director. Is
Yeah.
what I can say. He's very he's cultured, so he does a lot of stuff from on an international level. He'll do like Darjeeling Limited's in India, Grand Budapest is kind of like Eastern Europe. You know, there's all sorts of areas he films in. But yeah, I mean, so to get back to your question,
Date night.
like yeah,
Honestly, it's just like, and like anyone who's a parent knows, like date nights when you're a parent become so much more like necessary.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Like
oh my god.
it's and you almost like take them for granted when you don't have a kid, because at any time you could be like, oh, I don't feel like cooking tonight. Hey, let's go out to eat. And then when you're a parent, it's like that. You have to really specifically like plan out.
yeah,
You
time becomes like tangible preciousness.
Yeah, like,
And,
it's like gold. It's gold.
Yeah.
it is
At that
gold.
point, you know
It
what I'm
is
saying?
gold. And I'm not dismissing how much I love loot.
Dog, no,
But it
no,
is
no,
a
no.
full-time
Listen,
job.
bro. Listen, bro.
Beyond a full-time job. You know what I mean?
I tell them all the time, like, bro, like, listen, I love you to death, bro, but I need to get away.
Yeah.
Well, and what
yeah.
I always, and I know Luke is still too young to understand this, but I literally will be like, we're going to be better parents to you
Oh, 100%.
by going and getting this time.
Right,
And,
right.
I mean, I know you said you, obviously in Virginia, you have your parents, and we're grateful to have, I feel like it's like a different kind of comfort when you're leaving them with family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally last weekend we went away for our anniversary and we left Luke with his Aunt Angela, and it was like I didn't have to worry about like anything. You know, it's just like it's a different. It's just nice, you know.
Yeah. It's that
Family
level of
living.
comfort and a level of like security.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah. And like, you know, it's like, oh, sorry. I feel like if it was a babysitter, I'd be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry if he was like, blah, blah, whatever. And when it's family, it's like they know them better.
It's like,
So it's
they
like,
have a whole in a sense of like their personality.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
So,
So,
no, I definitely understand that.
what about for you and Anna, date night? Well,
So-
you guys are lucky. Dante's older now.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier.
He's not like Home Alone.
Right.
No.
It's not even Macaulay Culkin shit.
Right. Joe Pesci, look out.
But like when like if my parents pick them up, like, oh yeah, we'll watch it for the weekend. Like we'll do like we don't necessarily do a movie like at the theater, because I do, to be honest.
You hate people.
Yes. Well, no, that's very I hate people a lot.
I hear you,
I'm
yeah.
not a people person. But like the theaters. So the thing.
Oh, don't get me started on theaters.
The thing about movies is that if I want to watch a movie, right, and I'm not a movie person, so like
Sure.
I have to look at a trailer and be like, listen, I want to watch this movie,
Yeah.
and I'm excited to watch this movie. But if I go to a theater and people are talking during it,
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
gonna throw them.
I get so annoyed.
Right.
So it's like,
Well, Brandon, you realize the trick is to wait till it's almost out of theaters.
I know.
Or
man.
go on like a Sunday afternoon. I found that like if you go at the right time as well, because like I, you know, in my younger days, whatever, will go to like the Marvel movie opening night, whatever, and I'm
Yeah.
like, never again.
You can't.
I am so done with that. Like,
Yeah,
well, we
it's
haven't
garbage.
even. I mean, honestly,
garbage.
because of the pandemic, I can't remember the last time we were at a movie theater.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
That's the thing. It's gonna be a hard sell because these streaming services have.
Yes. Well, yeah, that's
Like, bro,
the
like,
other
listen,
thing.
Yeah, we're gonna debut the movie on the streaming service.
Yeah, and I can get it for
and
30
just watch it on the
bucks.
TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you have a group of people over and you all split it, and like it's like that's better than going to the theater and being, you know, paying $10 a person or whatever.
No,
Not even equating. Like,
So let me ask you: Is there any part of the theater experience for you that's worth it?
So I feel like I've always said that movies are when directors make movies and producers make movies, they build it for the surround sound,
And
the
the big
Sure,
screen,
the
yeah.
explosions, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they build it for that.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
You take that away from it, and it's just it's a long ass.
Yeah, and there are certain
So-
like.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's
There,
other than that.
to which I, unless the writer is extremely intelligent. So like, there are certain movies you can remove, like for example, like classics like The Godfather, or I don't know. Yeah, there's a million classics you can pick from that didn't build on the commercial.
Training Day.
Wow,
He loves Training
I
Day.
love Training Day for.
Could you quote Training Day
all
over?
the way through. Other than what's so funny is like I've seen It's a Wonderful Life, thanks to my mother, the most. But besides It's a Wonderful Life, I've probably seen Training Day the most.
Yeah.
So that dichotomy of both films.
It's a Wonderful Life. Training. Yeah,
That's
that's
like
funny.
that's hysterical. That
Yeah.
those are probably the two most watched movies I've
Yeah.
ever had.
Yeah.
Because Denzel is probably my favorite current actor. Because he's electric for me. Anytime Denzel's on the screen, I say, everybody shut up.
Denzel
I
plays the shit
love-
out of that role.
I love Denzel, period. Like, anything he's in, I'm like, I'll watch, I don't care.
I don't know if you ever watched the first episode of Clueless, Vino. One of the questions that was asked to Anna was like, name 5 Denzel movies you've been doing.
Oh, easy.
It's crazy because like I was
Too
like,
easy.
I'll
I'll give you
when
10.
When she said it, I was like, Movies,
Movie
like I said,
theaters.
movies are built for like surround sound.
I get
Yeah,
it.
I
I
see
get
that.
it.
Blast, but like other than that, it's like I can watch
Why
it at
not?
home.
I
Like,
get
if
it.
I
I
have
get
a
it.
surround system at home, guess
Why
what?
am I going to deal with people when I can have? Why am I going to deal with people? Overpriced soda, overpriced popcorn. There's too many cons.
To be fair, that popcorn is crack.
It is good.
That is
And
crack.
what
That is
makes me
crack popcorn.
sad is
It
I
is.
wish I could have experienced movie theaters like in their heyday, when people like dressed up and it was still such a new thing. Nowadays, people are so they're just selfish, you know. And
Do you remember
that
that one time we went to the living room theater in these college? We were at Florida Atlantic University, the living room theater, and they're just ripping vapes. And
Yeah,
they're just like
they're
the
in the
smoke is
front
coming up.
row.
And I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
What is this?
Kids, man.
I
Like,
paid
it's so
money.
selfish. Like, you're taking away from the
If
experience
you
for
gonna vape in
everyone.
the back, bro.
Yeah,
Like, get
please
in
go
the
vape
back,
in the
bro.
back.
Get
Like,
in the back.
I'm not even trying to stop you from vaping. Just vape in the
just go
back.
vape
I
in
don't
the back.
like. I don't. Yeah, but like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
There's a certain level of class. I don't know. I don't think
That's all.
But there's
that's
something
all.
about movie theaters, though, that I'll always, you know.
That's
I mean,
you. You
well,
have
we
a
live
nostalgia.
in the one, I guess, is small enough that like they used to do something called flashback theater.
which was very good.
And not many people went to it, so when we would go, we saw Blues Brothers, we
Harry Met
saw
Sally.
Harry Met Sally, we saw Singing in the Rain.
Sing in the Rain.
And it was us and like a couple other people, and you know that the people who are there to see a movie like that are respectful.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, sure.
So in that situation, I'm like, oh, I'm here for it. But any of these newer movies,
The commercialism of that.
I'm just like, I don't
Yes,
want to
yeah.
sit here and you're in front of me and your phone's up and it's like, no.
So
I'll
this
just-
is a very
no.
unpopular opinion. This may put an element to it, but I can't get into superhero movies. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
So it's funny because like things such as anime, things such as comic book movies,
Yeah.
you used to get bullied for that shit, bro.
Yeah.
You used to get like made fun of, like, oh, you like that?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
But
that's
now
true.
it's like they're kicking in the door to
it's like
watch.
posers, bro.
Yeah, it is
super
posers.
poser, like
So like I like the Christopher Nolan series of Batman.
Batman,
like,
sure. Yeah.
Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
I like that whole trilogy. Aside from that, I don't like anything else.
Yeah.
I don't like anything else superhero related in a cinematic experience orientation.
I do appreciate that they build universes, especially with
Sure.
Marvel. Marvel does a really good job of like building universes. DC does not.
Yeah.
But Marvel does a really good job of connecting the groups together. I think I do enjoy them. I don't run out to. I don't.
You're not
I don't
kicking down
grab-
the
grab
door.
tape. No, no,
Yeah.
no, no. But
You're not gonna watch them in theaters. You're waiting till it gets on.
bro, I don't have the time. I don't have that kind of.
You can have patience,
Yeah,
the
no.
time. I get it.
Especially since because I know the lore. I know the story behind stuff.
Sure.
I know why things are happening.
Because you're more
Like,
invested
oh my
than
God.
90% of the people that
Those-
walk in there.
Who are there just to see Chris Evans?
Fake people. Fake people.
They're
I
just there to see Chris Evans.
like, come on, fam. I oh, Thanos did that. Bro, listen. I know the real Thanos.
Right.
I know what's gonna happen.
Right.
I know the real story. You know what I'm saying? I know these things. So like for me, it's like cause like my uncle has a whole comic book collection. Like I used to read his comic
Yeah.
book.
Sure.
Like okay, Thanos is gonna do this, that. I know that stuff. So like for me, like the cinematic stuff doesn't really do it for me
Yeah.
as much. Cause like they will deviate for
Oh
bigger.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Right, to
yeah.
appease the masses
Yeah.
instead of staying true to what it's supposed to be, what the
Exactly.
artist intended.
Exactly.
And that's
So,
a shame. That's a shame.
You know, I'm happy that the medium is getting bigger. I'm happy for that.
Sure.
But I know when and who to go with, or who
Okay.
to watch it with. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just me when it comes to that type of stuff.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the superhero stuff.
She eats them.
There's nothing wrong, dude. It's definitely nothing wrong with it.
But it's grown on me. It's grown on me. And I'm super into the I really enjoyed WandaVision.
Okay, the
Not
series,
so
yeah.
much the Winter Soldier and the Falcon, only because I felt like it was just repetition of what we've seen before. Like WandaVision was like totally all new
That
stuff.
was different.
And Angela and I just finished Loki. Loki was like all new stuff. Whereas with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it was like, okay, you guys are fighting. You know what I mean? It's like there wasn't anything where I was like, yeah. It was like, I don't know, yeah. But anyway, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, how many of these are we gonna get?
As
much as they'll get money for, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Did you watch the new trailer for Batman? Well, I mean, it's new, but it's months.
Which one is this one?
The
Robert Pattinson.
You got the Robert Pattinson one. The newest.
I had seen the trailer for it. I'm like, I'll give it a shot. It's
Give
just
it a
like
shot.
Robert Pattinson. I'll put it this way. Robert Pattinson is more Batman than
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
How dare you?
Right.
God,
Disrespect
Boston.
Yeah.
To revenue who's
Right.
Like
Yeah.
what are you doing?
What are we doing?
Like who are you doing this for? You know
Who's
what I'm
the
saying?
actor that played? You know what? Viewers will know, but the guy that played in Westworld. He's a detective in now Gotham, in the newest Gotham.
Wait, I'm sorry. He played in Westworld?
Yeah, he's Arthur.
Oh, and he was also in the Hunger Game movies.
Yes.
I don't know the actor's name.
It's really gonna bother me because he's very common, but he's he plays a detective, and I don't know. The trailer looks very intriguing.
Oh, he's gonna be in the new Batman movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like him as an actor. Yeah, he's a really good actor.
Like I said, I'll give it a go.
That trailer I was about because they played a Nirvana song as the intro, and I was hooked immediately.
Sometimes the song does.
The
Yes,
song
the soundtrack
does.
is important.
So like, I'll be real with you. The movie, The Social Network, the trailer really captivated me, and I felt like had an effect actually on the film.
Because it was the remake of Radiohead.
Creed,
yeah.
but it was like this like Czechoslovakian children's choir.
Yes, yeah.
And it was very like ominous.
Yeah.
And it like had a like I don't know
It
why.
drew you in, yeah.
It drew me in.
Yeah.
I was about it. So it's the same thing with this Batman that
Yeah.
like this Nirvana intro. I'm like,
It would just be interesting to see how they tie it in because like.
I mean, it may just be its own separate. Like this is one element story. I don't think they're gonna try to tie it into anything they've done before.
They screwed up the first DC universe.
Yeah,
attempt,
well.
so I think might try to redo it. Like they had to.
You think
they're redoing Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like.
Oh my! Now that was one that I went in with high hopes because I was like, the cast. I was like, the premise is interesting, and I sat there in the movie theater and I was like, why can't I get into this? Like,
It's crazy because Will Smith did a great job.
Yes. Margot
Robbie
Robbie.
did it fine.
Yes.
Did a great job. And the Australian Boomerang did a great job.
I didn't have any.
But then the villain was just bad.
Yeah, the villain was bad, and it for
Just
me,
go ahead and kill him.
it was like they were trying to shove too much, like, into just the one movie. Like at the beginning, just the opening where it gives you like the back story of each of them. I'm like, wow, this is a lot. Like yeah.
I think with a better villain it would have worked, but because they struggled with that villain, it was just like,
Now, did you see what's it called, Bird of Prey?
Not yet. I do want to watch.
I've heard good things about that. I have not seen it either. I've heard good things about that. And Ewan McGregor is the villain in that, which is interesting because he's not normally a villain.
McGregor, Star Wars.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, I want to. I like superhero stuff. I like when they do it correctly.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
And MC and the Marvel Universe does a better job at live action stuff. Typically.
Yes. Yeah.
They do better. DC is better at animated stuff. If you're watching any of the animated DC movies, they eclipse Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
Stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm cool with superhero stuff. Like I'm a big fan. It's just when they try to do animated stuff, it's horrible. If they do it in America, it's horrible. But, you know, whatever. Martinez Wagner, whatever we're gonna call it.
Wagner.
Vineyards Riesling Dry 2020. What would y'all give that out of 5 glasses? We take quarters, halves, 3/4, whatever you want to do.
Ooh. Whatever, I'm gonna come out high on because normally I shy away
Give it a
from
rating.
Rieslings.
Give it a number.
Let me explain first. I shy away from Rieslings because they're so sweet, but that one, the dry Riesling, I'm gonna give it 4.5 glasses.
Oh, look at you.
Literally was about to give it that or a 4 1/4.
Okay.
I'll go with a 4 1/4 just to be a little different.
Okay.
The reason I like it is because Rieslings are so sweet. When you knock it down a little,
Yeah.
it gives it that. We're going to go ahead and.
It's very accessible, you know. Yeah, for sure.
And this is a Virginia vineyard, yes.
Yeah, it's a local.
www.wagnervineyards.com.
Yeah, man, go visit that.
Give it a whirl.
You know what I'm saying?
This was very delicious.
I'll make sure to tag them.
Must be
Hopefully
peach.
they
I'll give it
Peach put it over the top.
4. Yeah, no, that was great.
That
great.
was really delicious. Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, I
Fuller complex.
Yeah, I wasn't mad at that. I would definitely get a 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Like I said, I love Rieslings.
Yeah.
They're probably my favorite type of wine to have. I've never had a dry Riesling, so this was definitely different. But again,
So the initial like champagne, but then you're drinking it. It's like
Yeah.
okay, we're gonna ease into that sweetness. And then, but we're still gonna maintain that dryness, even though we still got that sweet body.
yeah, the dryness of
Yeah.
the champagne,
That
but the
sweet body.
That
sweetness of a
sweet,
of a
sweet
regular
body.
Riesling.
Yeah.
But it's not like a heavy. It's not like that deep sweet
Right,
of
right.
a regular Riesling.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah,
I'm actually
I would have
very
it. I would have it.
surprised.
It sets it apart
Yeah.
from other Riesling.
Yeah, for sure.
It
I would
sets it apart.
have that again for sure.
I would
Yes,
easily.
me too.
For sure. Not no bullshit.
All right, so this Martinez Fine Rubio.
Yeah, Martinez Porto.
Fine Ruby
Ruby Porto.
Porto, not
Ruby.
Rubio, not Marco Rubio,
No, not Marco Rubio.
famous
At
Cuban
all.
senator. I gotta tell you, I haven't had too many ports. Have you had? Any ports?
I think when we were at the San Sebastian Winery, we did try a port.
Have you had
This
any
is
ports?
the first.
This is your first.
This is your
one I've had.
first.
Yeah.
So
Port.
I don't have anything that I can
Base it off of.
yes. So I'm just gonna base it off of would I drink it again? So I'm gonna go with I think I'm gonna go with a 3.5
Okay.
because I don't hate it, but it's definitely of sipping, you sip it slowly.
What would you say is the moment, the event that you would drink this? What would be the reason you would bust out a port?
We're definitely at home. I could never drink a port out because
Yeah.
it's already making me sleepy. But that could also be our hike from earlier today. But I think something just where you're sitting around chatting,
Yeah.
or I don't know that I could sip it and watch a movie because I think I would fall asleep.
Yeah.
But
It's
just
heavy.
sitting
It's definitely
around, out by the fire pit if it's cold out, and you kind of sip on it.
Yeah, I would say that it's definitely
Nice.
a fire pit.
Yeah.
Nice fire pit wine.
Yeah, for
I can
sure.
get behind that.
For
But
sure.
other than that, I wouldn't. That's nothing I would,
Yeah.
It's a little too heavy for you.
Yes, it is.
The 19%, I think, really affects you.
Yeah.
That 19% is serious. In fact, I already know what's going to happen. She's going to dump the rest of this into here.
No, I'm not. I'm
yeah,
gonna
you
finish this.
Uh,
I'm
The
gonna
camera
finish
will
this.
cut off and show the sport in there.
I'm gonna finish this. And
I having a little bit more experience in ports, I gotta say it's very good. I'll give it another 4 1/4 out of
Okay.
5.
Yeah.
You don't have much port experience.
I do not.
So what
I
you're
do
doing
not.
is you're basing it off of other wines. in
I'm
your
basing
port
it off
experience.
of whether I would drink it again. Or
Yeah,
when,
Right,
or how
right.
often.
Which is I'm basing it off of other ports I've had. This is actually very delicious. Some ports I've had are really all right, this is too heavy But it has a nice sweet aftertaste that I keep wanting to come back.
Yeah.
Where some ports, it's like, okay, I had you, I'm gonna let you sit for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm gonna come back to eat. But this, I keep wanting to come back.
Yeah.
Keep wanting to come back. So it's yeah, I give it a 4 1/4. It's a very good port.
Okay.
And I would love this with a cigar.
Yeah. See,
saying.
a lot of the wines that I've had, like I feel like if you pair it with whatever they want you to pair it with, it's probably great. And I think a cigar would probably be best.
This is actually very good. Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it like a 3.75.
Okay.
As my first port, it's good. Like you said, like there's this element of sweet that's like right at the end of it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That, and as a person who doesn't like sweets as much, that's crazy that I like it. You know what I'm saying? But I do agree with Stephanie. It's one of those things where it's like one glass is probably gonna be enough.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially with the 19% alcohol content, like solid, one glass, we're good. I probably had like a few beers before, maybe a couple of extra glasses, and I'm finishing off.
Right, you're
with
finishing off on this, yeah.
with the port. But I'm not mad at this at all.
No, not at all.
I actually like it more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not mad at this
because of that sweetness it has.
Yeah. So yeah, man. I will try to visit more ports as we go along because
I think you should.
Yeah, I do enjoy it.
It's an area that I think is so high on the spectrum. Like, so the depth is so high that like it kind of gets neglected.
Yeah. Like yeah.
Because it's on the it's so rich. Like, so there's a spectrum of wines, right? Ports would obviously be on like the far right or whatever on the spectrum because it's so rich.
They're deeper and richer.
They're deeper and richer, so they're neglected.
It's very Republican. Anyway, so like I want to thank you guys for like I do want to thank you guys for joining.
Yes.
Listening, man, because like
Thank you for having us.
Yes, no, thank you for this was a delicious experience.
Yeah, man. I hope that this wasn't like too crazy for you guys.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It's cake.
Yeah.
We should have more viewers.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
We'll come back.
For sure. Like
we'll have to do another episode.
Yeah, you know, we'll have another.
For our next family vacation.
We'll have another family vacation. We'll do another episode for sure.
Yes.
This is the part where I used to let people, you know, the guests, you know, either throw out the socials or at least throw like a closing remark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, whatever you want to tell the people, you know, just like closing remark for the episode, and you know, do what you do. So Stephanie, obviously go first. Oh wow.
It's been really fun.
Is that the closing remark?
I don't know. You really put me on the spot there. Andrew, you go first. I need to think for a minute.
I don't have socials because that gets me in trouble.
For sure.
So I stay away from that. But I guess closing remarks for the people listening: be kind, be humble, work hard. It's really all I got.
Okay.
It's really all I got.
Yeah. It applies to so many different things.
Oh, you have to. Those 3 things. Then you'll be good.
Be kind, be humble, work hard.
Work hard.
Cheers to that.
Wait, what? No, you can't just steal. This isn't a joint effort. No, you can't just steal.
No, closing remarks. I don't know. Okay. You really put me on the spot here. Closing remarks. Well.
Do you have a favorite quote from anything? Like, you know.
Nope. I can't think. I'm seriously blanking. This is making me very sleepy. I'm sorry. I'm like, my brain is, a favorite. I feel like as an art teacher, I should like quote some famous artist or something, and I can't. Oh, you know what? That quote from that philosopher finally came to me. I don't know the philosopher, but when we were talking about reality, I think therefore I am.
Okay. That's good. I like that.
Okay, very good stuff.
I drink, therefore I am.
I don't know. I don't know if that's
okay.
that's
go ahead.
But yeah.